It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 29. Isaiah chapter 29, point is verse 21, and it reads, I'm going to start up though. Point is verse 21. I'm going to start at verse 18. And in that day shall the deaf hear the words of the book, and the eyes of the blind shall seek out of obscurity and out of darkness. Verse 19, the meek also shall increase their joy in the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and the poor among men shall rejoice in the Holy One of Israel. Verse 20, for the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off. Verse 21, that make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate, and turn aside the just for a thing of naught. I want to start off by giving all praise, all honor, and all glory to call Elohim, La Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKodash. Double honors to the elders and to the apostles that taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and the freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Aqua, thought they're listening and learning, Lord willingly, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but whom subscribe to this truth. To you, I say Shalom. It's the brother Yahweh coming at you another lesson through the spirit and through the power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. This lesson is inspired by a video I saw earlier by a guy named Patrick Humphrey, and pretty much going into Trump. Today was the inauguration, and basically, just like the last time, when Trump came in, that very first day he was signing executive orders. One being that that warp speed. So that's one thing about this devil. He gonna try and get her done. And I strongly feel through the spirit, speaking as a man, but through the spirit, I feel that this man could very well be the individual to usher in, this NWO. So I'm gonna play a video. I'm gonna say fair use, fair use. I'm not profiting off of this. I'm just playing this video. I'm gonna line up certain things he says with certain scriptures. Lord willing, this is edifying. They wouldn't do that. So fair use, fair use.
25 years ago, big breaking news. Hundreds of executive orders are going into effect tomorrow morning. As President Trump is inaugurated, he has announced a full comprehensive list of all the things that are going to be changing inside the U.S. on day one. So let's get into all the details here. Really quick, guys, please just hit that like and hit that subscribe. I'm posting every single day, keeping you guys updated on this big urgent news, and it just helps to get these warnings out. I appreciate that. So this is what's going on. A national emergency is about to be declared tomorrow morning. And we also have a whole other host of things that are going to happen as well too. And these are big changes coming to the United States on day one. And it says here that on day one, the president-elect will declare a national border emergency, direct the U.S. military to work with the Department of Homeland Security to fully secure the southern border, and to establish a national priority to eliminate criminal organizations. All right, so that's what's happening day one. It also says Trump will create task force for protection of Homeland Security with officers from the FBI, ICE, the CEA, and agencies, quote, to fully eradicate the presence of criminal organizations inside the United States. It says here Trump will also direct designations of certain groups as foreign terror organizations, which the official said will unlock new authorities to achieve the Trump Homeland Security mission. It says here that Trump will also reinstitute the, quote, remain in Mexico policy and direct the military to construct a new area of border wall. He will grant emergency authorities to suspend the entry of illegal aliens across the southwest border, allowing for individuals apprehended to be, quote, swiftly returned to their countries of origin. All right, so the Remain in Mexico policy essentially says that to file for any type of asylum claim, to claim entry into the United States, you have to wait in Mexico. This is big breaking news. Hundreds of executive orders are going into effect tomorrow morning as President Trump is inaugurated. He has announced a full comprehensive list of all the things that are going to be changing inside the US on day one. So let's get into all the details here really quick, guys. Please just hit that like and hit that subscribe. I'm posting every single day, keeping you guys updated on this big urgent news, and it just helps to get these warnings out. I appreciate that. So this is what's going on. A national emergency is about to be declared tomorrow morning. And we also have a whole other host of things that are going to happen as well too. And these are big changes coming to the United States on day one. And it says here that on day one, the president-elect will declare a national border emergency, direct the U.S. military to work with the Department of Homeland Security to fully secure the southern border, and to establish a national priority to eliminate criminal organizations. All right, so that's what's happening day one. It also says Trump will create task force.
So he said criminal organizations. Now, you got pretty much what's that Tren de Agua, pretty much the Venezuelan gang that pretty much I believe MS-13 is no longer like the most dangerous gang in that area. It's Tren de Agua. I know I'm butchering it, but and that's not even just going to affect these migrant gangs. That's going to affect whoever they deem as a criminal organization. Now you got a list with the Southern Poverty Law Center that pretty much deems certain groups as hate groups. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, what do they consider criminal? Just like what do they consider hate? So we in a time where it was kind of ingenious to a degree because, like they said, you talking about deporting people, but these people don't have any social security numbers. So how you don't think that actual citizens gonna get caught up in this? I remember the elders making mention of a movie called The Siege, and it had Denzel Washington in it, and it had I don't know that one guy name. I forget what he is, but I know he played in Men in Black. He played in a few different movies, but pretty much the government pretty much like how they did with Pearl Harbor, and they made the Japanese Americans pretty much prisoners, because they was going against Japan. They pretty much did the same thing in the movie, and they was going against the Islamic State. So Denzel Washington's partner was supposed to be a Arabic, and pretty much they detained his son, so he turned himself in, and and pretty much the double showed you, at the end of the day, they say we all together, but they really not, Now, I'm watching what's going on with Trump and his meme coin. You had Doge, and Elon Musk, and now Trump come out of left field with his own coin that they talk about pretty much created like $9 billion. So not to digress, but point being, I think they said they're going to have a list with all the different executive orders, but nonetheless, through the spirit, I just feel like the Lord, you can see it because he said one of the first things he's going to do is pretty much create task force to go after these migrants. So that's persecution, and, I'm not saying that the men of the Lord are going to get caught up in that, but, again, when I saw Vocab Malone in person, my spirit just said persecution, and then you got all this bugged out shit happening. The elder was going into, you got to think about, and I'm going to say first and foremost, I apologize because sometimes I'll be in my drink, which is kind of off, at the same time, because, you might not be in control of your tongue like that. And sometimes I don't take the time to think about what I say. Because what I'm saying, like I'm looking at certain things a certain kind of way because of everything I went through. But you know, you got certain people like people are listening to us. You know, so again, like I mean, everybody's lot is not to be a martyr. But you got to have a mindset. If the Lord put you in a situation, see, the Lord probably gonna put people in situation like Akim in situations where they think they might about to be taken out, and the Lord about to basically kill them, and then the Lord last minute save them, like the three holy children. You know, the Lord is gonna be constantly testing us all the way until the chariots come. So my point is, everybody's not gonna be a martyr. I don't know if I'm gonna be a martyr. I said I wouldn't be surprised just based on my lot and what I came from, what my personal situation and whatnot. You think I want to be a fucking martyr? He's like, but you got to have a mindset. A brother that I follow did a beautiful lesson. And he was saying how, okay, if the Lord changed the goal, what do? You go to the next goal. How the fuck you gonna strive against the Lord? What is fair to you? You know what I mean? And when you go into certain accounts in the scriptures, was it fair? You know what I mean? With Job lost all his family? Lord don't give a fuck about fair. I like calling Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua his title in Job chapter 18. Job called him the king of terrors because he was terrorizing Job. And he favored Job. So just imagine what he gonna do to these people he fucking hate. Scriptures tell you in Isaiah chapter 41, I'm going to start at verse 10. Because we coming into the time of persecution. These things are written in the scriptures for a reason. And that's why you got scripture. I hate when this do this shit. That's why you got scriptures like this. Everything is an advertisement and shit like that. This a Bible. Why are you advertising this fat bitch? That's Salakia. Isaiah chapter 41 and verse 10. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy power. I will strengthen thee, yea, I will help thee. Yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. And the right hand is Yahushua Mashiach, who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ. But he about to unleash that left hand. Scriptures tell you in the book of Revelations, chapter 12, about how the devil going to come down with great wrath. Because he knows that he got a short time. I use the statement about shooting from the hip. You know what I mean? You're supposed to, when you shoot a gun or shoot anything, any projectile, you're supposed to take aim. Take your time, take your aim. Make sure your hand's steady. Be able to brace for the force, the impact, the kickback. If it's, depending on what kind of weapon it is. But Esau's so desperate, he just shooting from the hip. Everybody ain't no fast draw that's gonna hit accurately, That's why everything looks so sloppy and tacky, like the elder said, tacky, because he desperate in the motherfucker. Because he know that he got a short time. This is the book 2 Timothy chapter 3, and the point is verse 12, and it reads. Yea, and all that will live godly in Mashiach, Yahushua, shall suffer persecution. Verse 13, but evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. Here it is, you got this devil that's literally, doing all this wickedness, but he's going to pretty much point the finger at the righteous, And the elder brought out a scripture I wasn't aware of. I was listening to the elder's video, and he brought a scripture in Ecclesiasticus because basically this devil gonna come with a false accusation, and the scriptures go into that. That's why it's so important about how we move in this truth, because it's not just about us. Sometimes I get to venting and talking about what I've been through and whatnot, and Salakia, I don't mean to offend nobody. Again, I be feeling like I'm losing my mind, but at the same time, the Lord allowed us to go through certain things. So, but as a man of the Lord, you as a man, period, you got to know when to say something and when not to say something. So, everything ain't for everybody. I remember the only comfort I got one time, Jake literally told me, like, I don't want your lot. You know that? You know how the fucking fucked up that made me feel? Like, damn. And Jake don't want to hear about what I'm listening to Jake talk about how when they catch a hell, they talk to other brothers. That was frowned upon around. I mean, you know, me and we take our pain. The craziest part is I haven't even really went into like a lot of the shit I seen or like certain things. If you think that's exposing or that's too much, well, damn, you know what I mean? Like you, wow, that's funny. But you're right though, you know, like the elder was going into, you know, you got Jake being so zealous, you know, arguing with Esau at the job and Drake's on the job and shit like that, wearing the fringes at the job, being OR. You putting a big ass huge target on your head. You know, that's just like those Jakes that burnt that flag. You know, we live in a day and age where, you know, we doing lessons out of our houses on our computers, on our cell phones, all that shit getting tracked. So ultimately, it ain't gonna be no. And the cold part about it is, you're gonna have individuals that faking this thing, you know. And I'm not saying no man I met was faking it. Or what I'm saying is, you gonna. I mean, everything is about to be exposed. The elder made a statement about you got caps that may seem like they you know all the way down for Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, but secretly in their mind they training to carnally go against Esau. You a fucking fool, bro. The elder just did a video showing about what do you call it? Those butcher bots. Right. I didn't even know they had no shit like that. I knew they had some shit, you know, because I got a book that goes into, you know, autonomous robots and vehicles. Like they want to have autonomous jets where they gonna literally like I think I heard something, read somewhere they were saying that a lot of those planes that was falling down from the sky, pretty much because AI went God mode. You know what I'm saying? Like pretty much they're allowing the AI to control certain things, and those planes allegedly might have been AI driven or controlled, that pretty much the AI didn't work out right. And you gotta take the time to think about this devil's mindset. This motherfucker literally used the American public as a guinea pig, a test tube, you know what I mean, experiment. I'll take this shit, see what it do. And then they literally like show you and fuck you in your face. You know, I remember Fauci, you know, Fauci just got pardoned and shit. I didn't even know he's being charged with that. I know he had with, you know, they had him when they was asking him questions. So pretty much if you locked in with them, you know, you got the get out of jail free card. Go ahead and, you know, and for those that's joined onto this bitch, they gonna die with this bitch. You know? You know, you basically, Trump is trying to, you know, sell a sinking ship. You know? This is the book of Revelation, chapter 2, and verse 9, and it says, I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. I know the blasphemy of them I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are of the synagogue of Satan. And the breakdown of that was talking about the 2/3 of Israel. But, you know, sometimes Jacob used it to, you know, pretty much speak on the small hats, you know, those Amalekites, Jewish. Point is verse 10. Fear none of these things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. You know, and that'll be pretty much a testimony of the trying of your faith. You know, we all gonna be tested and tried. You know, we go through little bitty trials now. You know. But ultimately, you know, we all gonna be tried. You about to see, you know, scriptures talk about basically not being persecuted unto death yet. But it's in our faith. We've had forefathers and men and women that actually have died believing in his word. It was a righteous thing to the Lord to put a spirit on the individual and watch them die. And we take that, think about it like that is deep. You know, to suffer for the Lord and to actually give up your life. And, you know, it makes me think about, like, say, I always bring up this book called More Than a Carpenter. And it posed a question because it was written from the aspect of an atheist that became a believer because based on, he basically went and researched. He did a diligent study, you know, a diligent search. You know, he became studious. And he went into basically all the disciples and he was like pretty much the odds of all of them, either they all believed in a lie or they all knew that this was the truth, because they all died. And again, a lot of our trials and tribulations we go through is in order to build up faith. I can literally say, I can say this much. I can say, speaking as a man, that I believe every brother that I was around believed. But it ain't about being a sincere believer. It's about being elect. And when you get the understanding of that, that's deep. I was listening to the one brother, the elder brother. He was going to that. He was like, shit, that's the scary thing about it. Ain't none of us secure in the knowledge of we the elect. I like to say I believe the elders, they got to be, because that's something the elect would do. That all the things they saying and still remain faithful in this. That's something the elect would do. So that's why I believe those men are the elect. Back in verse 10, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Basically a complete number. So it could be 100 days. It could be 10. I remember I was on like a monitor for a case, and I did some goofy shit and ended up like not charging the monitor and fell asleep, and they basically came and got me. I cussed their ass out, and they pretty much like kept me in there, like they kind of just forgot about me, left me in there, and the reason why they did that shit because nobody was calling to check on me. Ain't that something? It took for me to call a brother and say, why don't you call down here and find out when? And they knew they did wrong. That's why I got released the same day he called. Talking about being forgot about though, huh? And I didn't feel no way. I wasn't mad at Jake or nothing, because we all going through our own shit. But I just was like, damn, that's how much Jake thought about me. I guess that's soft too, huh? He that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. He that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death. And this thing is about overcoming our bad habits, overcoming this carnal place, overcoming these trials and tribulations that Yahweh Shem Yahushua constantly put us through. I did it twice. It's the book of Ecclesiasticus, or book of Sirach, chapter 51. I'm going to start at verse 2. For thou art my defender and helper, and hast preserved my body from destruction, and from the snare of the slanderous tongue, and from the lips that forge lies, and hast been my helper against mine adversaries. And who is that? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Yahweh meaning he is, he exists, or he be. Ba'ashem, Ba'az in, Haz Dashem his name. Yahweh Shah meaning he saves, or he deliver. True names of the Most High God and His Son, who you ignorantly call God and Jesus Christ, but whose true name in the Paleo Hebrew is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And ultimately the Lord wants to, because basically, the scriptures talk about how, we are a bride to Yahweh Shah. They slandered Yahweh Shah. The servant ain't greater than the master. These things that took place is going to take place again. Because there's no new thing under the sun. Verse 3, and has delivered me according to the multitude of thy mercies and greatness of thy name, from the teeth of them that were ready to devour me, and out of the hands of such as sought after my life, and from the manifold afflictions which I had. You really think that these elite are happy what we doing? Why do you think they send a fucking pest like vocab thinking, I was listening to the one brother today, he was talking about how, the elites didn't give a fuck when you had the nigga woman, destroying her home. The elites didn't give a fuck when, Jake was out there killing each other, gangbanging, all that bullshit. The elites gave a fuck when Jake tried to get in order based on these scriptures. And you got to remember, them curses going to remain with us until we get them new bodies. We're being healed, but we're not healed. You know, it's a lot of spirits out here. I was listening to the Arrow talk about how you got this spirit in Israel where a lot of men and or women or believers are getting afraid about Jacob's trouble. That's a spirit of fear. The devil did just do a Chapman, right? Talk about 5 portals and this and shit. And then all of a sudden, like, and they show you how these people are really lost as sheep. Like, where the fuck is it? So, talk about some portals in the scriptures. Where that scripture? Like, what scripture can you even line up to try to, like, even fake the funk with it? He didn't even line up those scriptures. He's just like, I'm gonna do this in Christmas. 5 portals for Christmas. What the fuck? And people just, them Catholics just eating that shit up. Hey, fuck out of here. I remember I was dealing with this nigga woman, and I asked her, did she read the scriptures? And she's like, oh yeah, I'm a Catholic. That's my belief. And I'm like, man, you don't know what Catholicism is, do you? For real? That's how stupid Jake is. I asked her a question. So I just wanted to see what she was gonna say, and she couldn't explain. I said, so what exactly do the Catholics believe? What's the the heart of your belief? Since you a Catholic, and she couldn't explain it. That's how she didn't even really fucking believe that shit, just something to say. And she was a super demon, by the way. Like the elder said, get away from the nigga woman. Yeah, nigga woman still sitting over here trying to have choices when niggas don't even want to fuck with them. That's why I rent the box. I ain't trying to fucking talk to you or nothing. I just want to pop your ass and get the fuck on. I ain't trying to play chess with you, and I play chess. I'm always trying to be strategic with some shit. But like I said, I don't trust myself around a bitch. I mean, I'm about to pray to the Lord. Like I say, I pray to the Lord constantly, but nah, I don't need no more headache. What he say in the movie Blow? What did Pablo Escobar say? He said, "You see, I don't like headache." I don't like headache. Like with that part with Johnny Depp and Pablo Escobar, and when he first meet him, he have him meet. He basically kill a guy in front of him to set the tone of this man's spirit. That's why I made the statement about Putin. I know Putin is an Edomite. You know what I mean? I just said he did some shit like a Jake would do, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it wasn't really like what a Jake could do because he literally just did some proud shit. He let that missile loose like, yeah. And he was confident in it. That's what makes he an Edomite. Proud and shit. Like, but Jake be proud too. Salakia for being all over the place. That pride is a scary thing. Because like I said, scriptures, I was listening to the elder speak on that. With this knowledge puff up. I was just talking to a female earlier today, and she was talking about, like, she sent me some goofy shit, a meme or something about Martin Luther King. So I just asked her, like, did you know this? Like, his name was Michael. And she was like, she didn't know. So I just told her a few little things. And she was like, you know a lot of stuff. And, I try to be humble. I'm like, no, my elders really know a lot of stuff, His brothers, like, that was in the camp, young brothers that just be on some shit, you know what I mean? Like, to show you how studious and the spirit be just really dealing. Me, myself, I was really into, like, Esau's left hand, you know what I mean? Because it was certain things I knew about his left hand in the world. So it was like the Lord had already set it up, Like when you go into the psyop shit, like Esau been doing witchcraft. This man is a fucking warlock, you know what I mean? The scriptures tell you that, like, Salakia. Verse 4, from the choking of fire on every side and from the midst of the fire which I kindled not. From the depth of the belly of hell, from an unclean tongue and from lying words. By accusation to the king, from an unrighteous tongue, my soul drew near even unto death, my life as near to the hell beneath. You know what? I just completely realized. I'm glad that that's the spirit. I was just about to cook. I forgot today was the Shabbat. Call Loyim Layal Bashim Al Shah. The brothers literally just put up a video right there. I got an air fryer though, so you know what I mean? Like, but I completely, and I was calling myself waiting. I should have cooked that shit earlier. So lock in. The point is, verse 6, by accusation to the king from an unrighteous tongue, my soul drew near even unto death. My life was near to the hell beneath. So pretty much, these devils, because we bringing out so much truth, is going to try to accuse us of doing some wrong. When this motherfucker literally, I'm talking about some witchcraft, like for real, huh? You the devil, but you going to try to point the finger at us. And that's when the Lord gonna fuck this devil up. You know, at the end of the day, like I said, you know the person. You know how like when you know some bullshit about to happen, you just want to get it over with. Because that's when you're gonna see the Lord really work. When he come after the men of the Lord. So let DJ Choke. I mean, like I said, he the perfect guy, you know, because he's that pride of Esau. You know what I'm saying? The red guy. You know, I watched this economist. He called him the red guy. And that motherfucker is red, ain't he? Because he is the ultimate Edomite. And the scriptures talk about the pride coming from pride coming before destruction. Roughly paraphrased. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 5. I'm gonna start at verse. I'm gonna start at verse 1, and it reads, so like in Matthew 5 and verse 1, and seeing the multitudes, he went up into the mountain. He went up into a mountain, and when he was set, his disciples came unto him. Verse 2, and he opened his mouth and taught them, saying, Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Verse 4, Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see the Most High. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of the Most High. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Verse 12, Rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in heaven, for so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. You know. So we know persecution got to come with this. But that's a blessed thing because we doing the right thing. You know, ultimately, the Lord got them in a huge ass trick bag. He gonna put the spirit on them to come with a false accusation, even though they the bad guy. And they know they doing wickedness. Like the fuck? You know, but they so, you know, they wickedness is righteousness in their mind. That's the true devil. So if you're so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Central Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, I implore you to come back to the laws, the statutes, and commandments of your power, whose true name in the Paleo-Hebrew is Yahweh, Hashem Yahushua, or you will be destroyed. With that, I want to give all praise, all honor, all glory to call Elohim Yahweh, Hashem Yahushua, Hashem Barakah Kodash. Double honors to the elders and to the apostles that taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives. Now, freely do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Aqua, thought they're listening and learning. Lord willingly, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad, the land and other nations, but feeling like the other nations for subscribing to this truth. To you, I say shalom. Until next time, Lord willingly, shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasharallah, and Wak Wak Babal.